What's going on, everyone? John Ranger from Techno Buffalo here. Let's start this video out with some simple math. What do you get when you add 1 plus 1? The answer is 2, and that's what we have right here. This is the latest from OnePlus, the appropriately named 2. There's a ton of flagship specs crammed into a really nice looking package, as is the case with the previous generation. A lot's been improved on here, so let's go ahead and take a first look at the OnePlus 2. So ladies and gentlemen, meet the OnePlus 2. This phone has been leaked, rumored for many months. Now we've got a chance to take a first look at it. Let me jump right into the specs and walk around what the phone has, because there is a lot here. So this is rocking the 64-bit Qualcomm Snapdragon 810. It's clocked at 1.8 gigahertz, and that is octa-core, but they've worked with Qualcomm to make sure that this is going to run very cool. I believe this is the first time I've ever said this too. We're looking at a phone with 4 gigs of RAM. Which is a lot of gigs. 64 gigs of internal storage here, no additional storage, but you are going to have, you can tell by that up there, a dual SIM. It's the first time we've really seen dual SIM make its way to US, at least on a phone that's going to be easily accessible. And that's going to be dual standby. So if you're not familiar with dual SIMs, essentially you can pop in 2 SIMs, receive phone calls from 2 separate numbers, even from 2 separate carriers. If we take a look at the rump of this guy, you're going to see one of the 5 available backs. It's going to ship with sandstone black, and this is removable. You can pop it off and put on another color of your choice. But the highlight is that guy right there. It's a 13 megapixel rear-facing camera that has 6 physical lenses and supposedly has a relatively powerful dual LED flash. The camera as well is going to give you OIS, so all of your shaky hand video should look pretty nice. So a few omissions people might miss: no NFC, no wireless charging here found on the OnePlus 2, in addition to no expandable storage. Framing the phone, we've got a very cool to the touch aluminum and magnesium frame. Let's take a look at the phone itself, because there's a lot of things here. So this, while looking like a physical home button, is actually a capacitive button. It's also going to serve as your fingerprint sensors. Flanking it on both sides, you've got your multitasking button and your back button, just annotated by 2 illuminated lines. On the left, it looks like a profile switcher. Is actually going to mute all notifications. So if you're in a meeting, want everything to be quiet for a minute, go ahead and slide that up or down, and you can go ahead and mute your notifications. A really nice and welcome feature. I'm happy to see that here on the OnePlus 2. On the left-hand side, you've got a volume rocker up and down, and your power button. On the top, 3.5mm headset jack, noise-canceling mic, but a big story is down here. Of course, you've got your rear-firing speakers, but that, my friends, a reversible USB-C port. And OnePlus claims you're going to be selling a USB-C cable on their site for cost at just around $5. So if you want to get a cheap USB-C cable, it's going to be a great way to do it. But of course, one's going to be included in the box. The OS we're running here is a grown-up version of OnePlus's own Oxygen OS based on Android 5.1.1, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Of course, the original OnePlus launched with Cyanogen. They have since split, and OnePlus developed their own take on Android, which looks to pretty much let Android be Android with a few additions. We did a whole video walking through the changes on Oxygen OS. One of the big ones here is OnePlus is calling Shelf. If you swipe that over, this is where sort of the phone's going to live and get smarter. Right here you can see your most recently used apps. You can customize the background image. Frequent contacts are going to show up here, and OnePlus told us this is going to get a lot of updates as people use the phone and learn what features they want to have here. So first look at Shelf. I get a lot of questions to see the camera UI, so go ahead and see that here. And they also told us that the camera is one thing they're going to be working on to make sure it's always getting better. They said it's going to be great at launch, but they want to make sure they're always looking to improve the camera. So there's what the UI looks like with face sensing capabilities. You can see some of the settings right there as well. You can jump right into HDR. And of course, beauty mode will get rid of all your blemishes and do some very nice, almost soft focusing for you. One thing that I've noticed upon my initial use is that capacitive home button is very fast. I've had some issues in previous phones that had capacitive home buttons. There's a bit of delay, no delay here at all. You tap that and you go right back to where you want to go, so very quick. I have not had a chance to check the fingerprint sensor on here to see how fast it goes, but supposedly faster than Touch ID. So as far as pricing and availability, the 64 gig OnePlus 2 is going to be available with an invite in the US and EU starting August 11th for $389. There will be a 16 gigabyte version OnePlus 2 with 3 gigs of RAM, going to be available later for $329. So anyway guys, it's been a first look at the OnePlus 2. I'll tell you your thoughts on it. What do you think? Did it live up to the hype, everything you expect? I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Until next time, I'm John Ranger from Techno Buffalo. See you guys next video. Bye-bye.